start off by myself. My name is Tato. I form the rhythm part of the band. So I'm the one that plays the drums, basically. I'll let the guys introduce themselves and then we can talk about the rest of the band.
I'm Joseph. I play keys, the melody, but yeah.
And I'm Clever and I'm the vocalist. I sing for the band.
Conception of Deep Breath from then to here in terms of the origins. How does it become this what we now know as Deep Breath there?
Hey man, it's a lot of sacrifices. It's a lot of sacrifices. It's a lot of anger. It's a lot of fighting with a lot of people. It's a lot of sleepless nights. I mean, I don't want to glorify struggle, but I mean that's the reality of what we've been through. We've been together now for 2 years, 2.5 years or so.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of that. There's been a lot of unpaying gigs, a lot of fighting with clients. There's also been a lot of music being made, beautiful music being made, a lot of meeting a lot of beautiful people. We decided a long time ago to shut out the noise and to focus solely on this thing. So what you see now is ultimately a moving away from everything and everyone else and just focusing and zoning in into this thing.
Alright, that's great, man. That's fantastic. So basically, in terms of the collective, when you guys conceptualize music, what do you guys have a particular ingredient or pattern that you follow? Like, okay, look, first Joseph comes in and the devil sings, and once they sing, Tato is just What is the pattern that you guys use to create?
It's actually crazy, man, because from the time we met, Tato had some compositions that he already made. And he called Joseph and I. He says, hey, have a listen to this. I've got this show that we'd like us to do. And we were like, okay, let's hear them out. So it began like that, having to do the compositions that Tato did. And after that, once we've bonded, there's this thing that just happened between us, Tato will be playing on some groove, and Joseph will just jump in on some keys, and here I am. I just find some words, they just pop in my head, and some melodies, and I find myself singing. But there are times where we sit down and we think, okay, what would we like to bring today? What would we like to do today? What would we like to come up with? And then we'll think of the tempos, the keys, of course, all of those things, and the style, or just how we're feeling at the time. But basically, and most of the songs, some of the songs, not most of them, they come during the shows. We find ourselves that we're doing this cover, just interacting with the people, and then it just slides to something else. And then we find ourselves in another song, especially the song that's coming out. In fact, it's out already. 1 in a Million and Was a None. Those songs, we didn't sit down, we didn't plan.
They just to tell you the story of those songs.
The songs just came out, So it's just me, Tato, and Joseph, bringing yourself, and then here we are, we bring some music.
So it's fair to say that for the audience, you kind of want them to feel like that when they are in your show.
Definitely.
You kind of actually feel like they're co-creating. Like they're actually cool. So now, the songs that are out that you mentioned, 1 in a Million, Find Your Peace,
and Was a None.
Are they being released at three different times, or is just one collection of songs? And does the collection itself does it have its own title, or what is the plan? Do they release them separately?
We're releasing them together as one project, which we named Trinity. Symbolizes three, which is us and the songs, of course. But it's somewhat a an EP, of some sort, but it's just it's 3 singles that are released at one time.
From what I could hear, you guys do pretty much everything. So how would you guys define your own music? whether you guys are doing a cover or you're doing specifically your own compositions, how would you define your music as Deep Breath?
If we had like a coin, I think we need to open a basket, a collection
For this question,
for this specific question.
it's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
But I don't know, man. I don't know. We were thinking because now the music, the way you define the music, I think it comes from what inspired you, and then you're gonna say, okay, this is what. When looking at all the genres which are existing today, Afro, jazz, pop, R&B, and then you find people who are just sitting and exploring. So what are you gonna call that? The genre, what do you call it?
Something.
And then you find people who are motivated by love. Okay, R&B and these slow jam songs, ballads.
Yeah.
And then you find people like us who are just coming together and expressing ourselves. Obviously with the intention that these expressions, obviously they're inspired by something very beautiful, which I'm not ashamed to say, God. It's really funny that we're doing Uwazanana, we're doing 1 in a Million, but God is really inspiring us. These melodies, these progressions and all these rhythms that we're coming up with, it's God. So people who come together like this and who just do music, not boxed in any genre or any platform, or I don't know what to say, but we're just doing music, man. I don't know what to call it. We're gonna call it just free.
Jump in there. I think what makes us difficult to come up with one word is that we're 3 individuals who are completely different but still very much the same. So he grew up listening to something else, he grew up listening to something, I grew up listening to something else. Our backgrounds are different, so it's all of this pap and flace and all of this mashed into one, and you're basically asking us, what's the name of this dish? But I mean, we've heard a lot of people calling it urban lounge, soul. We've heard a lot of those words, a lot of R&B as well, soul, indie. So we've heard a lot of those terms. Afro, it's influenced heavily by where we are, So we all those things.
Possibly you guys wouldn't mind mixing all of that up.
If there was a way,
it's bigger. It's actually, I think it's bigger. I think the industry needs to create a genre for Deep Breath.
Yeah. I like what
That's big. That's big. It's actually very interesting that you should touch the industry, because that's what I was going to. So now, in terms of the industry, right? Of course, you guys have aspirations, right? Among those aspirations, what is the one mark that you guys believe is that? Okay, there's many that you guys have, but in terms of either artists you'd love to collaborate with, or just things that you would love to leave as a mark and say, oh, we'd like to do this as Deep Breath. What's next with respect to Deep Breath in terms of the industry? Whether it be artists that you want to collaborate with, or what you want to do.
I'll speak. I think everybody has 3 different things they want to do. One of the things that I would like to do through Deep Breath is to have more youngsters in the industry. And I know a lot of people say that as a means of PR and whatever, but to literally have a brand new camera crew that are kids from PR schools or multimedia schools, studying this stuff, singers who will want to get on the road with us, players that nobody has heard of, that is something I myself personally am very passionate about too. I know a couple of years ago they spoke about opening the industry, but I think it was opened to a specific, I don't want to mention names, right? Yeah, but we really I would like to literally really have absolutely, brand new faces in our industry.
Wally's is saying that Deep Breath, we want to be like a platform, We are not just a band which wants to bring in music, but we want to be a space. We want to be a platform. We want to be a ride, that people, create, especially in the creative sector, will come and they just tap into the space and then they find themselves exploring and also, expressing themselves in all beautiful ways, obviously. Another guy said, I don't know if I should say this, but another guy was saying, they were asking him, how do you become a superstar? Then he says, rule number one, you must have talent. Try to have talent, course. You see, because now what happened is, we find people who speak like this, who have made it in the industry. They say, I want to uplift people. But then again, why you want to uplift these people? But then deeper, we want to be a platform where people can come, great people, like talented, gifted people, come and just express themselves. We want to be, we want to leave a legacy. Not just a legacy that we just want to be remembered. We want to make people who will be remembered.
So I guess it's safe to say anyone who's talented and who can contribute to the brand Deep Breath in a way that is productive to the growth of Deep Breath is welcome for you to collaborate with.
My man, it's like that.
As I was saying, it's big. It's bigger. It's bigger. I think right now it's also at a very early stage to actually see the whole picture. And a lot of opportunities that have been coming through. But basically, in short, Deep Breath is a lifestyle.
That's
so whatever that means, that's what it is. Yeah.
So now, most memorable. I know you guys actually on the road a lot, but just a highlight on the most memorable to each of you specifically. What has been the most memorable time on stage, on or off stage, where you sat back and you said, you know what, we're on the right direction?
Start. There's this one guy we were playing at Sugar Marine. He came to me and he says, since 1996, I've never heard anybody do music and made me feel like this. For me, that stands out even today. Since 1996, there's a whole lot of great people who've been doing, who are still doing it. For me, that felt like, what we're doing is more than just making people dance. It's bigger than that. So for me, that's my greatest highlight.
That's awesome. I think I've mentioned this too many times amongst the brothers. My favorite gig. Technically there are more better gigs that we've played, but that gig, I think that was the first gig that I really enjoyed. We were somewhere in the Shaka Marine, and that was the first time we heard one more from the crowd.
One more.
That was the first time. And that experience, now we get a lot of one more. It's like, okay. But that first time that we heard one more, it was like, really? So that was, I think that will always be a highlight for me.
I have a lot of highlights, but just one that comes to mind. I think it's just rehearsals, man. Like, especially when we're rehearsing our own music. I remember this one time, there was a song that we were rehearsing and coming up with. Again, in that space of improvisation, trying to do something, and at that moment where everything just went click, it was like, did you hear that? How did you? Yeah, I felt that. So when that happens, man, it's out of this world.
One, two. Check, 1, 2.
Just kind of tell the people what it is that you guys actually do, like any merchandise that you guys are pushing, and where can people access you guys in terms of social media, and do you have a website coming up and so on?
Basically, we are going to be releasing our music in our, I wish I had it for you, in a USB. So,
very cool, man. Very cool.
CDs now, trying to move away from CDs. So we're gonna have our music on a USB, which is gonna be sold, which people can use as well, like on their day-to-day basis at work, at school, for assignments and whatever. And we also have wireless universal power banks. I've
Pretty
never
cool
heard of
too,
that.
man.
you
Pretty
know.
cool.
Yeah, so basically anybody with any phone can just, put their phone on top of this thing and it'll charge. And they're obviously Deep Breath branded. And so those are the sort of like deals that we are trying to strike and to develop. And by the way, we are talking about opening the industry. We are not so much involved with the purchasing, the contracting, whatever. We found somebody who is very passionate about, the behind the scenes sort of thing. So that was our way of saying, dude, just run with it. Here's the project, go ahead and run with it. And he's been doing an amazing job. So that's part of the merch. We have deepbreathsa.com. deepbreathsa.com. That's launching on the 1st of June. We're pretty excited about that. You're gonna find everything there on our socials. Our merch is gonna be there. Online store is coming up as well. What else am I forgetting?
The actual, the actual launch, obviously. Tour launch that we're gonna be doing. So it's
Okay. Oh, that's great, Jens. That's great. All the best in your endeavors and in the platform that is Deep Breath. Continue to grow as it leaves everybody speechless.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
That's a lot.
Amen.
We'd like to share with you one of our own. This is called Number Running. All I see is you. All I see is you. All I need 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 is you. I keep trying to run away, but I